And then I'll go live as soon as I
are. Okay, here we go. Live.
Okay, let's see.
What's going on, guys? If you guys can hear me and see me, you should be seeing me and
to my
Jane right
terminal, and then
now.
I'll go live as
Jane,
soon as I.
how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
Live.
Still?
Yeah, good.
Okay,
Thanks,
let's
David.
see.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can hear
awesome.
you.
what's going on, guys? If you guys
so
can
one
hear
second.
me and see me, you should be. Okay. There is a bit of a delay from the time that we talk until the time that you guys can hear us. So that's normal stuff. Let me check the comments to see that. And of course I have to log in to see the comments, which I didn't do before. That's normal stuff. Okay, 1 second, guys. Let's see what's happening with the comments. So if you guys can hear us and see us, just type in the number 1 in the chat box. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, we have a bunch of people confirming that we are live. So let's see. Our Caleb says everything is good now. Michael says we can hear you. Anthony says lots of sounds. Yes, that was fixed, so we're good there. Okay, people are typing in 1. So guys, welcome to tonight's leader session. Well, actually, for Jane, it's the morning time. So today we have something really special. Actually, it's gonna be a leader session by Jane, who has generated, just now she told me that she passed actually the 20,000, blew right through it to $30,000 in the 6 weeks that she's been involved in the program. So Jane, welcome. Thank you for doing this for our leaders. I'm actually really excited to learn some of the stuff myself, even though I'm probably not going to be doing any of that because my focus is a different traffic source. But I want to make sure that everyone that's here today learns. We were discussing this actually just before we started the call. What to do, yes, we're going to cover that, but also what not to do. And that's something that Jane is going to cover today, which is really kind of important. So without further delay, let's dive right into it. Jane, take it away.
Thanks, David, and hi, everybody. So I do organic marketing, and so far I just do it on Facebook. And I started doing this approximately 6 weeks prior to joining Profits Passport. So not a great deal of time. And I hear, obviously a lot of people come to me and they see my results posts or whatever in the groups and they reach out and they go, what's your traffic source? Like it's some big secret. And I'm like, it's just Facebook. That's it, nothing more. And then they say, oh, I tried that, it didn't work. And I always say, well, you didn't do it properly. So there's obviously right ways and wrong ways to do it. And the main thing is that people have to be patient. And this is something that I'm very honest with about, that when people approach me that are interested in the business, and especially when they start to seriously say that they're going to come on board, because the last thing that I want to deal with is a person who's come on and has an expectation they're going to make a sale overnight or within a week or 2. And I never promise that because I don't have any control over anybody else's work ethic, ambition, desire, communication skills, or the customers who are going to be opening their wallet. I have no control over other people's spending. And so what I do say is that to do organic traffic, it is really easy. I don't find it challenging. It is simple as but it does take a little bit of time and dedication, because Facebook don't let you add 1,000 friends overnight, so you've got to just work at it for a few weeks. And it's really, in the scheme of things, not a long time. And we'll take a look down my timeline soon in the training, and you will pretty much see, like, when I started and the increase in engagement that I got. And I went from about 100 friends to possibly around 3,500, I believe, when I started Profits Passport. And I did that in about 6 weeks. And I started from 100 friends, because I had to do a friend clear out. Not that I had many anyway. I might have had, like, I don't know, 250 or something. I wasn't a marketer prior to this. So I cleaned them out. I think I had 100. And then I started adding from there. And okay, now that brings me to my first point of what not to do. One of the sticky points people get when they're starting is, Jane, I've got like a whole heap of friend requests there. Should I start accepting? And I'm like, whoa. You don't want to be accepting these people, because they're actually, more than likely, 99% of them are marketers who picked you up on an automated software in a group, and they're trying to sell you something. So right now, you want to focus on outbound, just leave those ones. Really, you don't really want them. Maybe down the track, you can take a look at them, but right now they're going to be marketers trying to sell you their thing. So don't focus on inbounds.
So to clarify, Jen, you basically treat your Facebook profile as a business tool. It's not really
correct
for Facebooking friends and stuff like that. So that's, I guess, one thing. So maybe for those of you that are watching that you maybe have already like a very active Facebook profile and stuff, create another one, a different one just for business. That might be a good start for those of you who don't want to use your actual Facebook one. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, David. So
sure.
Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah. So the other thing that I come up against, and that I came up against, and certainly people that I speak to about this, is that very good point. Sometimes people's objection, because I say to people when they come and they're interested, well, you've got two options with this. Basically, you have to drive traffic to tell people about the business, right? That's really what you have to do. And you have two ways. You can either pay for traffic, and if you've got a whole bunch of money you want to chuck at that, that's fine. I didn't have money when I started, so I did it free. And I'm still doing it free, because some of the highest paid people in this program at the moment are, at least on the first income stream, are doing it organically. And so it obviously works very well. So one of the things that I tell people is you can do paid traffic, or you can do organic. If you want to do organic, I can help you with this. This is what I'm here to teach you. I'm an expert at this, So, and then I say, and of course you can do a mixture. And of course I have plans. I just haven't quite got around to it yet, to run some paid traffic, because obviously some of the
one suggestion that I would make is never kill something that's already working. So if what you're doing right now has gotten you $30,000 in 6 weeks, you do not want to add anything else to this, and you do not want to change anything with what you're doing. Really, really important. Really, really important.
Thanks, David.
Sure.
I really appreciate your input, and I did really enjoy that live that you did, because that brought me some points to bring up as well.
Right. Focus.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of my points here. I've got to talk about people. So that's one thing. Our job is to find prospects, and you can do it paid, or you can do it free, or you can do a mixture of both. So I tell them that if they want to do free, that's what I'm here to help them with. And so what we need to do on our profiles, first of all, is obviously we want to put our little domain name, which our affiliate link is pointed to, on our little bio. It's really up to you what you want to say. I think I said something like, have 2K days with me or something, and put a very clear photograph. I see a lot of issues with people's profile pictures, David, a lot of issues. Some lovely people, one of my beautiful ladies, she's a beautiful lady, very, very attractive, just came on board, but her lovely photo, she had her lovely big glasses on, but it literally covered up her face. And I just said, look, take them off for the profile picture, nice and big, as big as you can make it, and as clear as you can, but don't cover it up with a hat. Don't put sunnies on. People make all sorts of mistakes. Don't put the big landscape with you little. Have a nice photo in your profile pic. Okay. So let me just get rid of that. That's number one. Obviously, there's two ways. I want to talk about the cover picture actually, because that's important. So there's two ways that you can do cover pictures. And I, at the moment, have experimented with one way. I don't believe there's a right way and a wrong way. And I think that there's upsides and downsides for both of these things. So obviously people are aware when they look at people's profiles that some people have a branded cover photo behind them with, you know, the fact that they're doing marketing or whatever their business happens to be. And they might be dressed businessy or even if they're doing like a bit of a lifestyle pic, they might still have this business information on it written there. And I found it first because I tried that I thought, I may be scaring off potential customers when I'm friending them. If I'm friending some regular mums or even people that are in possibly other programs or stuff like that, maybe they'll look at my profile and go, oh, she's just a marketer. She'll want to sell me something. And I didn't want to scare them off. So I've actually just got a plain picture of me on holiday in Tasmania there with nothing about marketing, branding, business on it at all. But honestly, that's just what I've decided on. So there's downsides to that. People might not know that I'm doing a business. Maybe that's not good. People might not see me as a leader. Maybe that's not good. I'm not sure. It's what I'm experimenting with right now.
Well, let's look at the reality of things. So far, you've done phenomenally well with what you've got there. So we can assume that it works.
We can assume that it works. Yep. Yeah. Because actually the feedback that I've got from some people who, after I've friend requested them, they've come and they've said to me in Messenger, and these aren't business people necessarily, they come and they say, oh, hey, Jane, I really loved looking down your profile and you look like a really nice family person and you look like you do really inspiring posts. So I'm happy to have friends like that. So I think of it as getting in the back door by stealth.
Sure. Yeah, you just want to add them as a friend, basically, like just right.
Yeah, and so because I'm getting in the back door because I'm not glaringly saying to somebody, oh, this is my cat. Hey everyone, this is pretty. I'm not glaringly saying to them all that I'm a business person and I'm going to sell you something. But you know what? I really am going to sell you something soon.
Right. Well, it's a cascading process, right? Like it's like a funnel, the way I see it. Like this is the reason why when people get to Profits Passport, there is not a buy button as soon as you get to the page. You gotta get to know each other first. I gotta send you a few emails. You gotta enter your email. So this is like a process for that. So think of it as like the first step of an organic funnel, I guess.
Yeah, and people. One of the things that people say to me, especially when they're close to coming on, is they say, you know, like sometimes I might be, and I'll get to this, and sometimes I'm having a chat in Messenger, or sometimes I'm having a video chat with them, and they say, I can't believe it can be as easy as this, Jane. And I'm like, it is this easy. It is not difficult. Like, and I say to them, this is literally as hard as it gets. I'm chatting to you right now. I'm answering your questions. This is as hard as it gets. It's not rocket science. I'm not magic. This is all it is. So, you know, with organic marketing, for the people that don't know, obviously, yep. So you have your choice over what you want to do with your cover pic, do it business or just plain, nice and, you know, nice holiday with your family or whatever. Families work well. My advice is families, pictures of your kids, pictures of you and the kids, pictures of you and your hubby, and pictures of pets. I have to be careful because I literally would cat spam everybody all day. So I have to hold back on my cat pictures. But people love pets, you know, people enjoy interacting with pets, and
right.
It's a really friendly thing, you know. It's nice to show people your family and your kids and your hubby and your pets. And
yeah, it's part of the family, right? A pet is part of the family.
Yeah. So we'll take a stroll down my profile in a minute, and have a look at the sorts of posts that I do. So other than having a nice clear profile picture, we also obviously want to have a lot of selfies. I don't know, but I would say to people who have because I do see people doing an attempt at what I would consider organic marketing. And if I take a look down their profile, David, I cannot see any photographs of themselves at all. I'm like, what are you doing? We've got to see your face. So other than my profile picture, which is nice and clear, people tell me, oh yeah, I noticed there's a lot of pictures of you. Yeah, because we as humans like to look at faces. We actually really enjoy selfies, not only taking them of ourselves, but we enjoy looking at other people's selfies as well.
Right.
That is what I found. People really respond to faces very well. So you get very high engagement on faces. Steer clear of in my opinion would be steer clear of screenshotting other inspirational posts from Pinterest or whatever, because they don't get as high engagement.
I can't believe people still post those. It's like I unfriended all the people who used to do that. It's like I don't want to see those anymore.
Yeah. So if you want to say something inspirational, that's fine. But you know what? Put a pic of yourself. Right. You'll get far more engagement. Right. People won't scroll by it. They'll engage with it.
Right. So really, you're the whole everything that I'm hearing here is promoting yourself. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've heard before that people don't always buy products. They buy you. They buy you as much as they buy the products,
Right.
That's true. I think probably people are buying me, possibly.
Right. Yeah, because you're the gateway to the program, right? So, yeah. Right. Okay. Let me just scan the questions to see if we have anything that came in. Okay, so somebody's asking, how do you approach people online about the opportunity? So I guess we'll get to that. That's the next kind of, we want to first, so maybe give us like a little roadmap of what's coming up. So first, we're dealing with the pictures and the profile and that kind of thing. And
this is important, fundamental.
We'll do like a live review of your profile so you can explain a little bit. People can ask questions and things like that. Okay, so we'll get to that. Whoever was asking that, we'll get to that.
Definitely.
Okay, let's see. Any other questions? Somebody's asking, what time is this webinar? Well, the time is right now. It's happening right now. Okay, so somebody's asking, Jane, do you have your own web page for Profits Passport as a landing page?
No.
So no other pages.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's good news. That's less work for you guys.
Yeah. You can have like a landing page if you want to, through ClickFunnels or something, to capture an email first. That's totally fine. But my advice would be to brand it exactly the same as David's webinar. You don't necessarily need you on it. Just have it looking exactly the same as a webinar.
Right. Yeah, but to keep things simple, guys, like just follow what she's doing. Like, I mean, it's always this thing where I used to do that too. Again, I'm not immune to this stuff. Like when I was first getting started, I always got caught up in all kinds of theories. Well, what if I use this page or that page? Don't do that. Just do what works. Simple. And this works. 30K in 6 weeks. I mean, it works. Okay.
Yeah.
So follow what she's showing you. Don't start developing all kinds of pages. Once you start making some serious money, then you can experiment with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I still don't recommend because you want to focus on what works. I'm a big advocate of focus, like huge advocate of that. Like that's, just to give you guys a quick, I don't want to take time away from the training here, but what's the biggest corporate war that you guys have ever seen? And everybody knows about this. It's Coke versus Pepsi, right? That's like the biggest corporate war. Now, here's the thing. This is fun facts, okay? A lot of people might not know this, but me, I like digging into this stuff. Pepsi has about $50 billion in revenue or something like that every year. Or maybe $40 billion, something like that. And they also own 24,000 restaurant chains. They own Taco Bell, they own Pizza Hut, they own KFC, they own a whole bunch of different, companies. Coke, on the other hand, just sells Coke. They don't own restaurants, they don't do any of that stuff. And their revenue is about 16 billion every single year. Now here's actually, it's not their revenue, I think their net profits, 16 billion, and Pepsi's net profits is about 5 billion, which is a third of that. So that just shows you the power of focus. Like Pepsi is so huge, they got so many things going on. We got restaurants, we got this, we got that. Oh, and we also have this drink. Where Coke is like, we just have a drink. That's it. That's what we do. This is what we sell. So you guys want to focus, okay? Don't start going into pages and click funnels and all this kind of stuff. Just do what works. So now that we're off that rant, let's get back to the training.
Yeah, I'm not a techie person. So, basically for now, David's done all the work for us, really. So just make it simple. Give yourself a domain name. That's as techie as it gets, Obviously, we want to talk about just briefly where you're adding friends from, add friends from, there's plenty of free groups around. I actually think outside the square. A lot of people don't seem to have any initiative. That's what I've literally noticed. So I think to myself, okay, where would people potentially be interested in? And I go, okay, maybe they're interested in copywriting. Maybe they're hanging out in copywriting groups. Maybe they're interested in running Facebook ads. They might be in some Facebook ads for beginner groups. So think about those,
Right.
Think about what are the big internet marketers around that run courses or something. Maybe they've got a free page you can go to. Have a look, start adding friends from the people that are liking the posts. I also do a search on Facebook sometimes, and I'm like, oh, who can I search up? Gary Vaynerchuk. And then you'll find some ads of his, and I go into the ad, and then I actually click on the people that I think could be appropriate and add their friend. Don't spend a bunch of time. You can't look at every single friend, just look at the picture and the name and decipher whether you think they're going to be appropriate from a tier 1 country briefly. And then, I have seen people get caught up on looking at every single profile. You will be here for 3 years building up your friends list if you do that. Use your common sense. Look at the profile picture, look at the name. And tier 1 country, more than likely they're going to have some money to spend. So do that. That's something that I do. Tip for you.
Right.
Think outside the square. Different big marketers, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, all that sort of thing.
Right. Do you target any specific posts of theirs, like stuff about business or other stuff like that?
No, not even. Not even. I mean, that would be probably a good idea, but I'm not that fussy. I'm like, oh, there's a Tony Robbins ad talking about or whatever he's marketing at the moment. I'm gonna look at the people who've liked it and friend them.
Right. Which makes sense. Those people are all about self-improvement, opening a business, starting a business, empowering yourself, all that kind of stuff. And guess what? Those are the kind of people who we can help.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. There's some tips on where to find friends. So there are restrictions, obviously, on the amount of friends that you can add. As I said, I seemed to get like the gods of lucky Facebook happening, where I was able to friend something of like 3,000 to 3,500 people within about a 6-week period. So I was adding hundreds of people a day. I'm not advocating that. I don't know what's going to happen to your Facebook account.
Right. Start slow.
I happened to get away with it. I wouldn't recommend it. Just go easy. Now I go very easy because they put me in Facebook jail a couple of times, mainly for 24 hours, one time for 6 days. So now I'm very conservative because they've probably flagged me a little,
Right.
So I'm really conservative now.
Right. So what would be an amount that would be okay? Like maybe 10, 15 friends a day and then kind of ramp it up from there?
Probably 30 or 40
30
a day.
or 40. Okay. So
I think you should be safe. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So try that, guys. Try adding, a few dozen people a day and then kind of ramp it up slowly and see how that goes.
Yeah. And split it up between morning and night as well. It's an idea.
Okay. So not all at the same time, just like different times of the day and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
A bunch more questions came in. Let's maybe take a quick question.
Yeah.
Couple questions here. So somebody's asking, what are the steps to finding people for friend requests? We just covered that. You look up people in the industry like Gary V and all kinds of copywriting groups and all kinds of work from home groups and stuff like that.
Yep.
And that's where you find them. Let's see. Will this webinar be recorded? Yes, it's being recorded. Yes, for you leaders, you can actually get it. No problem. Did you set up a separate business Facebook page?
I have to say, no, I have not done that for this. I have one for something else that I started that didn't work.
But not related to this.
No, I don't actually use it.
Okay.
And I don't run ads. So I
Right.
would have to say no, not
Right.
no.
Okay.
It's literally just my personal profile here.
Sure.
That's all.
Sure. Okay. Let's see. Once you do your Facebook profile housekeeping of tour friends, how do you add people that can potentially buy from you? We just covered that theory. You first clean up your profile, which will give you a demo right now in a minute.
Yeah.
And then you just start adding people, and we'll cover, like, in a minute. Jane will also talk about what to do with the people once you add them and stuff like that. Okay. Amy's asking, Facebook won't allow me to add friends. How do I fix that? That's a Facebook technical problem. You got to talk to them about that. Normally, if you have a normal profile that's like everybody else, you should be able to add people as friends. Now, having said that, I know that some profiles, as an example, you cannot add them as a friend. As an example, you cannot add me as a friend on Facebook unless you are a friend of one of my friends. Now, for me, I do the exact opposite of what Jane is saying right now. I'm trying to reduce all the people I know on Facebook because I get 500 messages a day and all kinds of people who should be contacting tech support and not my personal profile. So I'm not trying to add more friends. I'm trying to reduce the amount of people there. But if you have a normal profile, you should be able to have an add to friend button. So that's a technical thing that you got to talk to Facebook about. Okay, next question. When you started your online business, did you post team results on your Facebook story, and how often? So we'll get to that promotion part in a minute, whoever is asking that. We'll actually go through Jane's timeline. She'll show you when she got started and what was the first post and all that. I mean, maybe not all of them, but we'll go over
There's actually not many, to be honest.
that stuff.
I don't post much. Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's see. Any other questions, guys? Good engaged crowd today. This is good.
Honey's working live.
How do you
David.
decide who to friend, and what are the pros and cons of getting a second profile? Well, who to friend, again, Jane, you mentioned that there's no scientific process to this. You just look for tier 1 countries, which is US. Like, you're looking for people who speak English, right? We don't want to add people who you don't think speak English. And second profile, I have 2. I don't really use the other one. There's no issues with it. I mean, I haven't had any issues with it. At the same time, though, if you want to keep things separate, open the second one. If you don't want to keep things separate, you're okay with using your current one, don't complicate it. Just use your current one. Simple.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I was going to say, if you are, with regards to using your personal profile, one of the things that comes up is people feel uncomfortable with marketing to family and friends. And my advice is, either second profile or literally take them off. Just say, hey, I'm actually just going to use this for marketing now. I don't want to bore you. Take it off. But do you know what? Actually, some people that I forgot to take off have actually approached me about the business. So it's not,
Right. Yeah. 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 I've had that too.
I took off my own sister because I didn't want her judgment. So you might want to take off some family members.
Right. Okay. Let's see. What will you do when you hit the 5,000 friend limit? That's a good question. I can't answer that because I don't have 5,000 friends. I don't even have 50 friends. I've actually had over 800, and I told my assistant, basically, if I haven't chatted with a person for more than 30 days, remove them. So I'm down to like 33 people there, and that's dwindling down too. So how will you approach that, Jane? I'm curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm sitting at somewhere about 4,500 at the moment. But I'm actually thinking of doing a clear out soon. And I believe that there's some way or another on Facebook where you can actually find out about the people who have engaged with you at all recently. You might want to just make it the last 2 or 3 weeks or month, whatever you want to do, and you can actually remove them. So possibly some people have some software or just do like a Google on YouTube and find out how to remove friends that haven't engaged.
Right. That's a high quality problem, as we call it. Because if you already have that much, that means you're already making money. So you'll figure that out, or you'll buy some software to fix that problem. Okay.
Just back to the sorry, 2 seconds. It can affect your mindset with the people that are on your profile when you're starting out with this. And I say to people, okay, are you literally worried about your auntie and your nephew, or do you want to make $500,000 a year or more?
Yeah, believe me, you're thinking about them way more than they're thinking about you. So don't worry about that.
Take them off.
Yeah, and seriously, if you're really concerned about that, because I know that that's a legitimate kind of a thing, just get a second account. Just do yourself a favor, forget your current account, get another account, and be done with it. Somebody's asking, do you use Instagram?
Oh, actually, I don't, but I want to. My focus is Facebook. David says, don't do anything that's, not focused. But I think maybe I can do a little bit of both. We'll see. I think that Facebook, Instagram's awesome. What I am going to try is some TikToks, and I'm going to put them into my Facebook stories because I think TikTok's awesome fun, and I want to do some funny little things and bring them into my Facebook stories.
Right.
Experiment a bit with
Okay.
TikTok.
So you don't right now, but maybe in the
Yeah.
future.
Maybe
Not
in the
recommended, but maybe in the future.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
in the future.
Focus. That's the big thing.
Focus, that's right. Yeah. Facebook
Okay,
works.
that's it for the questions for now, I guess. So we can proceed with maybe the demo or whatever else you wanted to show us next.
Just 1 second. Obviously, we'll get into results posts. Of course, you've got to do, when you join Profits Passport, it's totally fine, totally normal to do results posts from other people. We don't have ours at first. Just do them in your stories, and we'll get to that, but do them in your stories until you get people reaching out, and I'll cover that as well. But you don't feel like a fraud. Some people are like, oh, I feel like a fraud. No. Mindset problem.
I share other people's results all day long in the email. So come on, guys.
Exactly.
Like whoever is thinking that, get over it. Seriously.
Get
Like,
over
that's
it.
not even a thing. Like,
Yeah, ridiculous.
yeah, we
Trust
are
me.
a big team here. So you can say, one of my team members just generated this result. Done.
Yep. And you do that enough times, eventually you get people reaching out when you've got enough friends, So that's what happens. Be direct. I find people dilute things, David. Be direct about your marketing. Some people are like, oh, but I'm trying to do this, my accounting business at the same time. I'm trying to do my editing business or my life coaching business. You are going to struggle. I am 100% focused on this. It's a great business. It's a great product. It's a great thing that we have. David's fantastic. He does like all the work. We just have to do a little bit of marketing. It's very, very, very good, and I'm razor focused. If I start going, oh, maybe I'm still going to promote my other business, well, no.
Pepsi. That's where things go. Pepsi. That's
Yeah.
where everything. You have 24,000 restaurants and third of the revenue of the other leading company.
Yeah, because if you're, even if you had some kind of high ticket coaching thing that you was like selling, like you're a life coach, and sometimes life coaches charge, a couple of $100 for a life coaching session. I believe that it's quite challenging to sell that sort of stuff. And, well, would you rather make $200 for a session, or would you rather make, a few $1,000s, So you got to weigh it up. Where am I going to make the most money? People don't think of this. You're going to make the most money.
Focus on one program.
Yes, focus on the thing that's going to make you the money, which is this.
Right.
Okay?
Cool.
So don't dilute your marketing. Don't split your time. Okay. Analogies. Oh yeah, can I use a good analogy?
Sure.
Okay.
I love analogies.
Well, I know. Now, one of the major problems that we have, I believe, with people is they don't know how to explain it. So you've got to educate yourself a little bit, people. When people start to reach out to you, you've got to know how to explain it. And I will get into that. But I had a really good idea the other day when someone said, oh, David says he does all the work and you get all the money. Like, what does that mean? So I said, okay, think of it like you've just bought a donut franchise. And now David has actually made all the donuts for you. He's actually done all the fit out of the shop for you. He's actually sending out all the emails to all the people that are interested in the donuts and giving them their birthday, emails and discounts. And he's actually doing some of the outside promo of the shop. And he's actually making videos all about the franchise all over YouTube for us. And he's interviewing other people that are eating their donuts. And so what is your job? Well, your job or our job as the business owner is to figure out where we want to put our donut shop and put a few little promos out the front of it.
Get people in the door, basically.
That's it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, that's a good analogy, actually. That's a really accurate one.
he was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I'm like, yeah.
Right.
So
Right. Cool.
you can use that. David's a donut maker. Awesome donuts, by the way. So, you know, think of analogies. That's kind of a good way to help people understand about the business. I will talk more specifically about that. Let's go to my profile now. First of all, actually, I might just cover stories quickly.
Sure.
So to begin with, after you have obviously built up an audience, friended what you think is the right people, don't stress about friending the wrong people. You'll just take forever. Just friend them, build it up. You know, you'll start to see some traction. I tell people around 2,000 to 2,500 friends. Obviously, 3,000 to 3,500, 4 is really, really good. But you should start seeing some results around 2,000 to 2,500, particularly if you're doing the right sorts of posts. Now, the way in which we get stories are very, very good to get people reaching out to you. I actually never approach anybody. This business is so good that I never have to get in touch with people on Messenger and say, hey, are you interested in my thing? Ever.
Because that doesn't work, by the way. That does not work.
Never works.
You want people coming to you.
Yep.
Right.
And it's easy. And they do come to me. And they come to a lot of people, other people who are doing this correctly. So once we've built up our friends, you know the right sorts of things to post on your timeline, which I'm going to show you. You actually need to put stories in. Do 1 to 3 or 4 a day. Don't do 10 or 12 or 20. It's too many. People won't watch them. And you need to have, I mean, the pitfalls people have, David, I literally can't believe it. It's not that hard. Make your writing clear. Okay, don't use fancy fonts. It might look pretty, but people can't see it briefly, you know. Make the writing very clear.
Yeah, one quick tip about that, which is one of the very first thing I learned as a copywriter, is I got an example that said, okay, imagine that there's 2 salespeople on the street walking around trying to sell vacuum cleaners door to door. So one salesperson walks up, he's dressed in a suit and tie and, you know, nice clean brochure, speaks very clear, very articulate, nothing distracting on his face, no earrings, no hats, no nothing like that. The next salesperson walks, you know, onto the next house, and he's got like the mohawk, which is pink. He's wearing like this leather jacket. He has these big boots. He shows up on a motorcycle and he knocks really loudly. And there's like music in the background and all that kind of stuff. And he's still pitching the same vacuum that the first guy did. Now, the difference between the two is just replace the word salesperson with message right now. So what's really important when you're communicating something to someone? Your web page is the message. Do you want it to be pink and background colors everywhere and music playing in the background and all that kind of stuff? Or do you want the message to be black and white, very clear headline, clear exactly what is it that you're talking about? That's essentially the difference between, you know, having a message that just goes right through and gets you what you want, the kind of results you want, or a message that gets lost before it even got delivered. So don't use fancy fonts at all. That's why on my web pages, you never see anything fancy. There's nothing moving. There's nothing going on, because I'm all about getting the message to the person without distracting them with anything else. Even if the person wanted to buy the vacuum cleaner from the second guy, but he's too distracted looking at his hair or something like that, you know, he might miss the whole features and benefits. Or he might not even open the door, you know, at all, because he might, you know, something is too distracting there. So guys, don't use fancy font. Don't do any of that. Like simple, the default font that you get as soon as you start typing. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. I'm going to make mine even more simple now, David, after that. You know, and I also find that, you know, like obviously people like faces once again. So it's not necessarily a bad idea. I usually put a picture of me in nice and big, usually your face as big as you can get it, kind of works well, I guess, but you got to put room sometimes for your proof. But, so have a nice big, whatever it is that you, the other thing as well is make sure that your poll, put a poll on. I see people that don't have a call to action. And this is problematic. People are just going to look at it and go, oh, that's nice, some lucky person, and scroll on. I know I've seen it. I'm like, oh, that's cool, but what would I do with that? I don't know. So you've got to have a call to action. The polls actually work best, even better than saying, PM me or reach out. The polls work good. All they have to do is press on it. Okay, so and I've seen where people make the poll too small as well. Put the poll really big and don't put a no option. Some people just have yes or no for info. Don't put a no option. Say yes, please, or...
What kind of questions do you ask on your polls?
Sometimes I don't put a question at all. Sometimes, because I just, say on the poll, if I don't ask a question with it, I'll just put info, please.
Oh, okay.
Or info, Janie.
So either way, it's they're going to contact them.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And sometimes if I do put a little question, and the poll sometimes, where do I put the poll? Well, just Google on YouTube, guys, how to do a story. But sometimes if I do write something, I'll say want in or want to join.
Right,
join
some
me.
engagement from them, something for them to do.
Yeah, and they press it, right? So you should be getting, especially depending on, it varies, it really varies, but depends on your friends list and how many you've got on the friends. But people will start reaching out for info. Now that's your first leads. That's why I've never had to approach anybody in Messenger.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Takes all the pressure off. Our business is so good. The amounts of money is so huge that people cannot help but be engaged by that and curious.
Yeah, it fixes a huge problem. Like, how many sales of a $2,000 does one person need in a month to be able to have a good month? Even one. Just imagine just an extra $2,000 a month. For somebody that's already has stuff going on, an extra $2,000 just to clear the credit card and things like that. That's already enough. But to see that people are doing 2-3 of those a week, that's already insane for a lot of people. So engagement definitely important. So far we've covered this. So first you find people to add, you add them, you start slow, maybe 20, 30, 40 people a day, and then build that up to as many as you can kind of thing. And then you post on your own, like clean up your profile obviously first, make sure that the profile is good picture, nice background cover that's like, not too businessy kind of thing. And then post with engagement, something that people can click on, want info, more info or something. Because people, again, will do that at their own time, right? Like they might look at the first one, they might not see you again they might be clicking on every single one of them for 3 weeks, but it's the one that you set on the third week that really got them, and they're like, okay, well, what is this? Tell me more kind of thing.
Yeah. And people are like, oh, but I don't have my own results. Well, neither did I, people. Like before I did get results,
Right.
Neither did I. You just got to post our team results, which are astounding, until people reach out. It's cool. Delete, obviously, clean up your profile. What David is saying is, clean up all your political crap. Do not have anything political on there. You will chase people away.
It's a business. It's a business purpose kind of a profile, guys. So Don't put anything that can push someone that not related to business, basically.
Yeah. Don't share things. People don't even realize that they shouldn't be sharing links. Facebook will kill your algorithm. Don't share links. They will not show it to anybody. They don't want people going off. So if you're posting something, then ask them to put a comment in the comments or something, but don't post your link. And don't share other people's. Like if you want to actually share something, screenshot it and put it on, but don't press the share button, because Facebook, for some reason, they don't like shares and they don't show it to anybody. That's another mistake I see. Don't share people's posts. Screenshot it if you want to share something.
Okay. Good point. All right, let me see. Maybe a few more questions came in. How do you start a conversation without being spammy? So whoever is asking that's exactly what she's explaining now. You don't message anyone. You let them come to you by you adding them as a friend, cleaning up your profile, and then posting on your own timeline, which you can post whatever you want there, and letting people come to you. Because they're now your friend, they will get a notification. Hey, David just posted something. Go check it out. So when they click on it, they'll see whatever team post you shared or team result or something, if you don't have your own result yet. And it won't be long before you can have your own result, and then you can celebrate that result on your own timeline, and then that will bring even more results and more results and more results. That's basically how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. So somebody's asking, when they ask you for info, do you just send them the link, schedule a call, and just engage via Messenger? We're getting to that. We're not there yet. She will be covering that. Everybody's already running ahead.
I hope we have enough time. I don't want to.
We do. Don't worry. We can go as long as you want to go. No problem.
Okay. Well, let's go look at my profile now. I'll share my screen.
Sure. By the way, guys, even if we stop this webinar right now, you've already gotten so much value out of this. I want you guys to light up the chat box right now with the number 3 if you're getting value out of this. I want to see a whole bunch of 3s right now, so we can, while Jane sets up her screen share. Okay, here we go. 3, 3, 3, 3. It's already lighting up. Okay, people are loving it, Jane. Let's.
Oh, that's good. Cool. So funny, when you were like, Jane, can you do a leaders training? I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I've got anything to share. I think it's pretty stock standard what I do, It's hard
to... that's the thing. When you do it and it's normal for you to do, you assume that everyone else is doing it too, but it's not.
But I have noticed from obviously the questions that I get asked from people approaching me all the time when they see my results, what are you doing and blah, blah, blah. And I go, oh, these people, they don't know what they're doing. So yeah. All right, cool. Help. So you can... Yeah, they need help. Yeah. So you can see my profile, my cover picture here. Can they see, David?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you can see my cover here. It's really plain. It's just me on a picture in Tasmania on holiday. I have nothing branded on there at all. So that seems to work nice for me. Obviously, put in your little domain name here. Put in down here, I will actually my covers. I'm not real happy with that little feature photo, but anyway, it is what it is. It doesn't have to be perfect, hey? And you can put your little domain here as well down the side. I hope you can see that, what I'm pointing at.
So that is the domain that goes to Profits Passport.
Yes, correct.
Right. So all she did here, guys, just to clarify, she took the affiliate link that's below the webinar video in the members area, and she bought a domain from wherever you want to buy the domain from, GoDaddy or Namecheap or wherever. And then when you buy the domain, you just forward that to your affiliate link. And that's basically it. So for everybody wondering about the domain, that's what she did there. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Just quickly on friending. If you do have time, and I don't advise this for every single person because, as I said, you'll be there forever. But once you've got a huge amount of friends, you can take a little bit more time with this because it's not a bad idea to just interact a little bit on their I really love dropping gifts. I spent a lot of time on engagement prior to coming to Profits Passport to build up my engagement. I don't spend as much time on it now. Well, some days I might have a little more time on my hands, and I spend a while just going through my news feed or going onto my friends list, and I'll just put funny gifts if it's appropriate and stuff. People really like funny gifts. I love funny gifts. Right. So I like to engage a little bit because when we engage with them, then there's a pretty high chance that your post will then show in their news feed. Or if it doesn't, they will want to say, who is this person, and check you out, and then they'll see your post and they might engage and help the algorithm. My advice as well is have some of your marketing buddies on there because we like to help each other out with the algorithm so that the people that we want to see our posts will end up seeing our posts.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Good tip.
Now, just to show you that, yes, it does in fact go to Profits Passport. If I click on that, I've just got it going straight to, there you go, straight to the webinar.
Load straight to the affiliate link. Yeah.
Yeah, to the affiliate link. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to scroll down and you can literally see that it didn't take me long and the sorts of posts that I've got and why. I won't go through every one, but I'll just say basically what you need to do.
Right.
And I don't post much. So I have found that, geez, I'm getting even slacker, maybe once a week. I don't know if that's advisable, but it hasn't hurt me. Once every few days, people think that if they're not posting every day or a couple of times a day, that Facebook won't show it to anyone, but I have not found that that is true at all. You want to let your post do maximum rounds of people's newsfeed over a few days to gather as many likes and engagements as possible over a few days. That's my experience. Right. So look down, like I pretty much started trying to do. Wasn't really sure what I was doing at first. Pretty much like here. I tried to do like a value post. This was August 18th. That was like, but do you know what I found? I didn't really feel comfortable talking to the people on Facebook about marketing advice. At that stage, I didn't feel comfortable, which is why I never sold a course, because I didn't want to give marketing. I didn't think I had people that were interested in courses on my feed.
You were right. They're not interested in courses. People just want to get to the result. So
they just want money, basically. All right, here's a big fat one of my cat. Now you can see my engagement picking up. I had one down here. I had like 33 likes. I was having a go at it. I showed my family. We're in the backyard having my homemade fire.
Right, so lifestyle, like a lifestyle. Here's me. So you're basically showing them, like, you almost want to think of yourself as like a little celebrity that you're sharing a little bit of your insider life kind of thing with people. And people like that. People like to see that.
Yeah, that's right. Now you can see my engagement here's picked up a little bit. I probably had added some more friends, 45 likes. We go up. Here's me and my cat. Nice close up of my face, my cat. People love it. Gosh, I got 87 likes on that. That's pretty good.
And I go up all the again. Cat people hitting the like.
Yeah, that's right. This one was pretty boring. Okay, good example. I tried to do, here I was, you can read this, lifestyle value results. That was a value post. We call it a value post. I was trying to give something of value as some marketing help, which is what I'm telling you here. You can go back and read that. I put this in unusual picture of the sky that I took a picture of, but you can see it didn't get much. 71 likes, not bad. We go up, picture of the family, back around 80 likes, nice. Just a little quote on a green background, frigging 200 likes. That's mental. I don't know. I don't see the big deal personally, but it went mental. So by this stage, I'm probably picking up on my friends. Up here, nice close up of me and some alpacas. People liked that, 200 likes, 130 comments. Here, we're going up. I'm just showing you the progress. And these posts were probably like a week apart, August 28, August 30, or September 1. They're a little bit close together here. So 200 likes, 130 comments. That was a funny one, little one, still 100 likes. Here we go, a results post I tried. That actually got nearly 300 likes, 172 comments. Here's a post just saying that I'm kind of changing track a bit. Nearly 300 likes. Me and my daughter, 200. Nice, just family stuff, family stuff. Here we have me and my son. This was a nice one, another 200. People like families and faces. And a nice big one of me. Crazy, 400 likes.
Right.
Mental.
Right.
I was just thanking everyone on Facebook for their support. People love it. Mm-hmm. Me, my face, again, and my daughter. And my daughter, by the way, she asked me to put that one with her hair over her face. I'm like, should we get the one without your hair? No, Mom, put that one on. She's like, all right. So that was nice.
370 likes.
370. You can see my engagement going up. People are starting to like me. They get used to seeing my face. I've got more friends. This one, massive, another 400, 220 comments. So you can see nearly 400 people. Again, family photograph. I'm at the pool with my daughter's sleepover. It's not hard. So people are like, it can't be this easy. I'm like, it is. Look at this. Take a look down my profile. It's an education. I haven't really done anything special. Nothing. Not as far as I can see. Not hard.
Just sharing yourself, basically. Sharing what you're doing, where you're hanging out, who you're hanging out with, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Back down here, I did do a bait, we call this a bait post, where I said, hey, it's like a result post actually, and we're asking people, hey, I made this much money. This was a thing that didn't really work very well before I joined Profits Passport, and I was asking people to reach out for info, so that's like a bait post. Then we got I changed my cover picture, 300 likes, mental. Me and my cat. There you go.
439. So it's growing. It's growing every time.
Yeah, you can see I have a picture of myself in every one, almost,
Right.
pretty much. Yep. There was me. I was like, trying to get some people interested in Profits Passport. It was pretty much around here that I know that was before. Yeah, I pretty much joined. That was my 2K. It was pretty much like just before this that I joined PP, and then result post. So you got to do lots of emojis.
It's colorful.
Colorful. It's short. I myself personally do not like long posts. You can get away with it maybe once a month or something if you've got really something important to say. I hate long posts. I have talked to people who say they never read them either. So I'm not a fan of long posts, really. I don't like them. So I do a mixture of lifestyle, value, which is I try to maybe say something helpful to people, and results. And that's when I put a results post up, another one of me and my cat. That's another result post, So that's another result post. I shouldn't have done so many. That's like a lifestyle result. So family, pets. Here I'm trying to do a value post. I was trying to give them something helpful, which was true, by the way. I would take this advice if I was you. So that's pretty much it, That's the last one I did October 30. Oh my Lord, that was I better post. I'm a little bit slow, but I don't do many posts.
Right. So guys, what you've seen now is what pretty much took her from zero to $30,000 in 6 weeks. 6 weeks, and I don't see anything complicated here. I really don't. It takes, obviously, if you want to do it for free and organic, it does take a little bit of time, but it's free. You're not paying anything for paid traffic, right? So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. I mean, I'm like blown away that this stuff makes $30,000 in 6 weeks. This is easy stuff. Easy stuff.
It's easy. People really overcomplicate this. So other than that, what you see on my timeline, obviously a couple of stories every day with a poll to reach out with team results. Mm-hmm. Don't dilute your stories with landscapes. I see this. Skies, a lot of inspirational stuff. In my opinion, I didn't do that. I might dilute it a little bit now. I certainly put a little bit of fun in with me and my cat or whatever, but only because I went really hard on results in the stories for a while. And I'm like, I better pull back, But so, yeah, I better pull back is what I thought. But certainly for weeks, I went hard every day with results and stories. Don't hold back,
Right.
Be direct.
So now when it comes to somebody's asking, how much time a day do you spend on Facebook? Well, I guess the real question is, how much time do you spend on Facebook doing business stuff? Because people spend time on Facebook all the time. But for business, like how long does it take you to kind of run the business side of things?
Well, because I get a lot of people reaching out and I'm, asking questions, I spend probably this is my kind of 9 to 5, I guess you could say. So I spend like a few hours a day. It's not like I just let it sit for an hour. I do actually engage here with people and talk to them on Messenger and stuff. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it's not hard though. It's not hard.
Right,
chatting.
For sure. Okay. And, next question is, David, question for you. This one is for me. Okay. Should we not capture the lead by our own opt-in page before sending it to the PP link? I answered this multiple times on multiple webinars. For those of you who know how to capture leads and you want to capture leads, because to capture the lead is, obviously, I would never tell you not to capture the lead. Building your list is one of the best things you could ever do online. But here's the thing. Before Profits Passport, I actually had another system, and I even had another one before that, another one. I had multiple ones before Profits Passport is not my first system. It's like my 12th system at this point. But the thing is, with all the other previous systems, people had the ability to build their own email list. But when it came time to mail those people, nobody wanted to do anything. So I decided, you know what? Why am I leaving it up to them? Let me just do it for you guys. Like, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to load up a single email. You don't have to do any of that. Let me take care of all the follow-up. So if you want to build your email list and you know how to set up a capture page and you know what to mail them, by all means, man, just capture your own leads and then send them from your page after they opt in to your affiliate link in Profits Passport. And then they can opt in there, and then I can start following up with them, and you can do your own follow-up. But if you don't know how to do that, which most people don't, and they don't, even if they do, they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with managing a list and sending out messages and what do I mail, how long do I mail, and all that kind of stuff. Then you don't need to deal with any of that, because Profits Passport takes care of that for you. So that's, I guess, the answer to that. Let's see. So somebody's asking, what are the steps that I need to, are there steps like what I need to say when someone reaches out to me? So I guess the next question, the next kind of logical question in your process, Jane, is when you post, what usually happens next? Do people message you? Do they comment? Do they how do you take them from the post? So you add them as a friend, they like your post, they comment maybe, and now they messaged you. How do you turn that into dollars in the bank?
Okay, so if they've hit info on the poll in the story, what I always do is I just double check that they do actually want info, because some people accidentally press it. So, I think it's sometimes in a bad spot. So you don't want to like blah, here's my stuff. But yeah, they're like, never asked for it,
Right.
So I do just double check that they want it politely. I say, hey, how are you? Just checking that you wanted information on the business. Hope your day's been good or something, And sometimes I might check their profile first just to see what else they're doing, or even see if they're in this already, or, I don't know. So then when they say, yeah, Jane, thanks, I'd like some info, then I send a little voice, the little voice recording, or I do a voice note and just basically says, hey, so I'm going to send you some info, and please watch the webinar. It's a fantastic business, and I'll tell you a little bit more about how I explain the business in a minute. But I basically just send a little explainer, takes about 1.5 minutes, and then I just sort of just say, just take a look at the webinar here in text, put some emojis on, and it's got my domain on it. That's it.
Simple.
Not hard.
Real simple. Okay, cool. So you verify that they actually want the info.
Yeah.
And then you send them a quick voice clip that says exactly what you just said. Which, by the way, this webinar is being recorded for you guys, so if you need to rewind and listen to what Jane just said, then you can do that. Okay. Let's see.
I don't ever consider that I close anybody. Maybe that's wrong. I never close people. All I ever think of myself as doing is actually explaining it to them. That's
Right.
really all people. Sometimes people come and they say, Jane, this person's reached out for info. What do I say? And I'm like, just talk to them.
Right.
They just want what it's about. Just try and explain it. That's
Right.
all.
Right. Simple. Yep. And usually you want to just not explain too much about it, because that's
Yeah,
what the
right.
webinar is for, guys. That's what an hour and 46 minutes webinar is for. Okay. Somebody's asking, what about posting videos? So I didn't see any videos on your timeline. Do you use videos at all?
No, look, in my experience, Facebook don't really favor video. Even when people are doing lives on their Facebook profile, like I don't know, I haven't really tried it, but I don't know. I know some people do with great success. I just haven't tried that. I don't know. I'm not sure if Facebook would show it to many people. I'm not sure how I would come across. So I try to just maybe what I'm doing works at the moment. So I haven't tipped the apple cart.
Right.
And Facebook are funny. Facebook can be funny with video. They don't always show it.
Right. Yeah, so better just to stick to simple posts. Simple post.
You
Okay.
can do video in your stories. I'm not opposed to video in the stories. I reckon, yeah, go for it, knock yourself out.
Right. So again, I want to emphasize because I see a bunch of questions on this. You don't want to close anybody in the chat. You just want to send them the information with the link to go check it out. That's what Jane is doing.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are not professional messenger closers or anything like that. And you shouldn't be. That's all. Your job is just to clean up your profile first, add some friends, start posting on your own timeline, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jane, because you're the expert on this stuff. And then after that, when people reach out to you, verify that they want the info, send them like a little voice clip with, hey, I'm so excited about this. Thanks it's a fantastic business. It allowed me to do this, and that. Or our members are creating this kind of success, this and that. And then I'm going to give you a link. Here's the link. Go check it out. And if you have any questions after that, you can hit me back. And that's it.
That's right.
Pretty simple.
One tip that brings me, some people have this thought that they've got to sound really professional, like a business person or something, or that they've like really got to sound like they know what they're talking about. No, I do lols and sometimes my kids or my cats jumped on the bed or something, funny, or like, it doesn't matter, they just want to hear you're a human being, just normal person like them. So just keep it casual.
Right. And that's kind of important. Again, like look at this webinar that we're doing right now. We actually talked about this just before we went live. And I remember, Jen, I told you it's not about the presentation, the slides, or any of that. People just want to connect with people, and they just want the content. That's it. They just want the actual good stuff. So don't worry about your voicemail too much. You don't need a professional mic or anything. Just record it with your phone.
Yeah.
Your phone is more than, if you have a decent phone from the last 5 years, you have more than all the equipment you need to record a nice little audio. Okay.
Right.
So somebody's asking, do you use ringless voicemails?
Not yet.
Not yet. So yeah, that's again, going back to the focus thing. Sure, you could use ringless voicemails, but I would recommend you guys pick one. Today we're here to talk about Facebook because that's what generated $30,000 for Jane just in the last 6 weeks with completely free traffic, as she's shown you. So if you want to do ringless, sure, you could do that, but you could also do this for free and just leverage this. So somebody's asking, I get confused. What are we pushing? Easy One Up or Profits Passport? So this is a more of a me kind of question, I guess. So Easy One Up is a program inside of Profits Passport. It's one of the income streams. You don't promote Easy One Up, just like you don't promote ROI Panel and you don't promote all the other income streams by themselves. That's what I do when you get people in Profits Passport. All you gotta do is promote the one link that's under the webinar video. You have your affiliate link there. That's your link for Profits Passport. You want to send all of the traffic there from Facebook, from wherever you're getting your traffic from. And then that will get people in the system, and I will promote pretty much all the different income streams to them. So hopefully that clears it up. I don't see that many more questions or any other questions. Pretty much everything else is repetitive, which we've answered. So yeah, I guess, is there anything else that we need to cover, guys? Any other questions for everybody that's on the webinar? If you guys have any other questions, otherwise, I think we're literally just over the hour mark and we can wrap it up in the next couple of minutes, or maybe take one or two more questions if we have any. And Jane, this was phenomenal, man. This is something that I'm tempted to actually do some of the stuff myself, but I'm not going to be honest, because for me, I don't want to lose focus of what I'm already doing. In fact, just to not to reveal too much, but I'm actually working on another webinar, two other webinars that I've tested recently, and another webinar that I'm creating right now that's something around very, very tightly tied with what we're doing here. So that's more on that in the next few weeks. And I'm not going to reveal anything right now, but I don't want anything to remove me from the focus. But for everyone else that's here, if you guys want a free traffic method that's easy, and probably you're already spending half your day on Facebook anyways, so let's be honest here. So this is a great kind of little thing to add and focus on and start getting some sales, for free. Like, this doesn't cost any money to be able to get these sales. So let's see. I see one question came in. Do you use Canva for image results posts? So I guess the question is, what do you use for screenshots and like images and that kind of stuff? Do you have a favorite tool?
Yeah, Canva's good, but you got to be on your desktop, and half the time I'm on my phone. So I do use Over for some things.
How do you spell that one? OVA?
OVER.
ER. Over. Got it. Okay. Over. It's an app, like just an app. Okay. So just go to the App Store, type Over, and see what comes up, and that's what you want to use. Okay. Somebody's saying, this is a great webinar. Thank you, Jane and David. You're welcome. You're welcome. I love doing these trainings. Okay. Next question. David, can you do one-day training on minions? No, that's not something I do, because I still am learning on how to deal with my own minions. Usually I just have a long whip, and if they don't obey, I whip them. That's my training for that. Pretty simple. And pay them well. That's, I guess, another thing. Pay them well. Somebody's saying, totally unrelated, David, but can you explain how myleadgensecret.com works? You're right, that is totally unrelated, and I'm not going to get into that in this webinar. But what I will do is I have a whole webinar on it. If you want to learn more about it, you can submit a ticket to the support desk and my minions, which can easily help you with getting hooked up with that webinar. And I use minions, of course, with a lot of love. I'm not saying anything. A lot of people think of minions, man, was you treating them like, I love my minions. Minions are awesome. Okay. Somebody's saying, thank you both so much. I am not a Facebook person, but Jane has convinced me to change my mindset. Gold. Congratulations. Thank you, Jane, for that. Okay, next comment is there a way to capture emails that are not Gmail? So whoever is asking that, the system actually does capture those leads, but it's not guaranteed that they'll actually receive the emails that I sent. That's why it says right on it that says, please use a Gmail, because everything else, like as an example, Hotmail is impossible to deliver to. They got so many filters, so many things. So people sign up, but they don't get the emails. So having said that, there are other, kind of domains that do get the emails. So Gmail is the most kind of tested one that most people get the email right away, and it goes straight to the mailbox, which is awesome. So that's why it says that. But yeah. Somebody says, I don't use Facebook and I'm not that experienced with it. Can I be successful with obtaining sales if I am a Facebook dummy? Well, let me ask you this, whoever is asking that question. Did you see anything complicated with the training that we did today? Because to me, this is really basic stuff. There is the one-time setup of cleaning up your profile, which depending on what you got on it, might not need that much cleaning. But what I would recommend, and if this is okay with you, Jen, can they check out your profile and just kind of model after it and stuff?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, so what I would recommend you do, whoever asked that question, just look up Jane and just click on her profile and look at it and just see, okay, so what does she have that you need to also add to your profile? That's the first thing you do. And then the second thing you do is rewatch this webinar recording that we're actually doing right now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, as many times as you need, and go back to the segments that she really explained how to do this and just do that part. It's really not that hard. I mean, Jen, you mentioned that yourself. You're not a techie person. You're not doing anything on the computer too much. It's mostly mobile phone and stuff like that. So No excuse. I mean, is it worth your time? Even if there is something for you to learn here, is it worth your time to be able to figure this stuff out so you can make as much as $30,000 in 6 weeks? If the answer to that is yes, go for it, because that's what's possible. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? Somebody's asking, do you contact unpaid signups in Easy One Up? Jane, do you contact your Easy One Up unpaid signups?
Yeah, I do. And the ones that land in the Profits Passport dashboard as well, I do. Yeah, I just send a friendly email and say, hey, looks like you've signed up for a free account. I'm sure you're checking out the system. You know, I'm your sponsor, Jane. You can reach me on Facebook here. You know, just let me know when you're ready to go ahead and we can have a chat, or, you know, you can ask me some questions. Great to see you.
Right. So it's like more of a welcome. Hey, there's somebody here. If you have questions, I can answer them for you. Okay. And do you find that people reply to those? Like, what do you find is the response to those? Do people just sign up on their own usually, or do you find that they reply to those a lot, or like?
Some have replied, but often no. I don't know why. They just haven't yet.
Right. So just whoever asked that, the follow-up from myself is going out anyway. So whether you do this step or you don't do this step is up to you. Just know that this would be an extra step on top of my own follow-up. So if you feel like doing it, go ahead and do it. If you really are just starting out and you need to get your sale as quickly as possible, maybe you should do this until at least you get your first couple of sales out the door, and then you can leverage your current results to get even more results and that type of thing. Okay, next question is somebody saying, this was totally awesome. Thanks for sharing, Jane. Thank you. This was great.
Good.
And next question, let's see. Somebody saying, hey, I just wanted to say this was a great training. Thank you all for the information. I now have some direction on how to get started. Awesome. And again, guys, don't overcomplicate this stuff. If you just take the next, how long again did it take you until you kind of started promoting? It was 5 weeks to kind of get the friends list up and stuff?
Yeah, about 6 weeks or so.
6 weeks.
I was working on engagement. Yeah.
Right. So that's
5, 6
essentially what you're doing. You're just kind of adding friends and then posting on your own timeline and getting people to contact you.
Yeah.
And you just have something to send them. Yeah, awesome. So I think that's it. Any final words, Jane, for everyone that's here today?
Yeah. Don't be pushy. I have seen people that people have come to me and said, oh, someone else has been talking to me about this, but they've been really pushy. They've been like contacting me several times a day, and you're not pushy. And I'm not pushy at all. Like, you got to, you know, if you send info out, obviously sometimes people come back within a day or two and actually do ask you questions, and some people don't. And after a week, I will just follow up and say, hey, how are you? Do you have any questions about the system? And if they don't, then I archive it. I don't know if I should, but I do. And if they come back and say, yeah, I do actually, then that's cool. And if they don't, then they've been put away. I don't bother them, you know. So don't be pushy. You don't have to do. It's a great business, and it's their loss, really. Also, the other thing to mention is, the person said, oh, should we be promoting Easy One Up or whatever? No, this is not a course, it's a business, you know. And I think that, you know, some people are literally not interested in buying a course, you know. And at the end of the day, Easy One Up is a fantastic company. I'm so grateful that David's brought it in, and I just think it's an incredible platform. And certainly you're gonna flip and learn something if you look at the information on it, but some people might not want to, and they might not bother because they've bought the business and not the. So don't, you know, I just happen to say the first income stream happens to be an online education platform, which is a phenomenal company that's been around for a long time, from what I understand, a couple of decades. Really fabulous company. And have confidence in your products. I speak to a lot of people in Profits Passport, and they literally have no confidence in themselves or what they're even selling. And I think I just convey confidence. So you've got to be confident, or people will not buy from you. They will not buy from you. Right. So I'm just confident, and I'm clear and concise. And I say it happens to be an online education course, but there's 6 other income streams that are actually pretty passive within there. So that's kind of how I explain it. Don't harp on it being a course.
Yeah, and also another explanation that I found is really easy, and people kind of grasp it really quick. If you need an easy way to explain what Easy One Up is, you just tell people, you know how Netflix, you have like movies and TV shows and stuff? This is like Netflix, but with business content.
Oh,
People
that's
like
great.
totally get it. Like, oh, okay,
I
so
love that.
it's like a Netflix, but with business stuff. Like, okay, yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Somebody's asking more of a technical question is like, who do you use to collect payments with Easy One Up?
Oh, it's entirely your business, really. Yeah.
Right.
The stuff, there's TransferWise, PayPal.
Yeah, you can even let, for those of you that are in the States, you can just let Easy One Up collect for you. That's just real easy. You don't have to even deal with it, and they just send you a check. And there's a couple other countries that it's open to. I know in Canada it was open for me, and then I switched to doing my own thing. So yeah, it's totally up to you. However you want to receive it. Like even like Jane said, TransferWise or whatever works for you. So that's basically it for the questions. Thanks everyone for attending. Jane, thank you very, very much for doing
Can I just
this.
say one more
Yes.
important thing? Sorry.
Of course,
It's
of
really
course. This is what we're here
but
for.
I think that people actually forget to mention bonuses or don't realize the importance of bonuses. And in my eyes, the bonuses are extraordinarily important. And people need to know about these bonuses in order to make an informed decision. So you got to talk about the bonuses, not to be salesy, but is literally they need to know what they are getting or not getting from the choices that they make. That's
Absolutely. And the way I look at it is like I almost expect people to explain the bonuses to me. Like if I'm going to the store and it's like a holiday season and somebody says, oh, pick up this laptop, you also get this protection for 3 years, and as a special bonus you also would get this extended for 6 years or something, and it's also $200 off. I want to know those things. This is important stuff for my decision. Otherwise, why would I bother hurrying up and signing up right now? Right? So that's kind of important, guys. You want to know what the bonuses are. And if you don't know what the bonuses are, what are you waiting for to learn what the bonuses are? Go watch the webinar. Like I noticed that a lot of the reason, by the way, that I don't do anything on my own Facebook account is simply because the amount of questions that I get there, I'm sure that there's a lot of legitimate questions, but 99% of them are like, how do I get started? Where do I click? It's like I noticed that people who don't even take the time to just click and go watch a video, those are not people I want to deal with, period. That's why I don't use any kind of messaging on my own Facebook. That's one of the reasons. So for those of you that are here that are like, you want to leverage, the Facebook stuff, and you want to have a couple of conversations with people to kind of get them signed up, you want to know what these things are. What are the bonuses? How is the program? How does the program work? If you need to quickly explain it and that type of stuff. So that's basically it. And I guess we'll wrap it up on a high note. And yeah, that's basically it. Somebody's saying, yeah, but does an Easy One Up charge a fee for collecting? Yes, they do, but it's less headache for you. So if you want to not deal with the collection of the payment, let them do it. If you want to deal with it yourself, then sure, you can deal with it yourself. But that's one more thing you need to do in addition to getting people to your link and stuff. So I would recommend the least things to do and just focus on getting people to your link. So Jane, again, thank you very, very much for hopping on and doing this training for us. I've certainly learned a lot myself. This is pretty cool. I'm actually going to take a quick peek at my own Facebook profile to see how much of a difference there is between what you've got and what I've got there. And I think for myself personally, I'm already posting those stuff, and I do get a bunch of engagements. But my goal again is not to get people signed up through my own page, so I don't necessarily do exactly what you do there. Even though I've recently started with posting the case studies and all that kind of stuff on there, which is kind of cool. So thanks everyone for attending. Thank you for all the questions. And again, thank you, Jane. And I guess we'll see you guys inside the leaders group and with the next upcoming leader session that we're going to have. I'm going to be announcing very, very soon. So thanks again, and bye for now. Let me just pause 1 second.